Now at 5, it's Election Day in Missouri and Kansas. We're going to hear what's drawing voters to the polls. Plus, how a new app aims to make it easier for Oklahoma residents to report suspicious activities in schools. And
the U.S. Supreme Court hears a major case on gun rights and domestic violence protections. I'm Natalie Brandt with What's at Stake.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Voters in parts of Missouri and Kansas decide local tax issues, school bonds, and city government races. This is KOAM News at 5. I'm Dow Quick. KOAM's Amber Jenkins joins us live from a polling place in Pittsburgh.
Although it's an odd election year, the director of elections in Crawford County says voter turnout depends on what's on the ballot. According to the Crawford County Clerk's Office, voting turnout for local elections are usually 20 to 25%. Officials believe the USD 250 school board race is what's driving voters to the polls.
And obviously, their local elections affect us directly a lot more than even state or national in most cases, because these offices are interfacing with voters and the electorate on a day-to-day basis. It might be people we know.
Polls are set to close at 7 p.m. Reporting live in Crawford County, Amber Jenkins, KOAM News.
All right, Amber, we'll check back with you at 6. Amber Jenkins, thanks. To be able to easily check election results as they come in, download the KOAM News app. You can do it right now. It's available free of charge in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store, and will provide you with the latest results on the races and issues that matter to you. Just search for the KOAM News app. State of Oklahoma is trying to make students and school staff feel safer at school. They're launching a new app called Protect OK. It's free to use and download. It allows users to anonymously report suspicious activity within their school. There's also a feature to allow friends to track each other's locations to make sure they stay safe. City of Joplin's reminding residents that Main Street and Joplin Street will be closed Saturday morning for the 36th annual Joplin Community Veterans Day Parade. The parade begins at 10 a.m. at 15th and Main. From there, it moves north to 3rd Street, turns west onto Joplin Avenue, then heads south to City Hall between 5th and 7th Streets. Those portions of the city will be closed off to motorists during the parade, but will be reopened by noon. Unusually warm November day for us. Chief Meteorologist Doug Heddy.
Yeah, we got up into the 80s for highs for us today. We at least tied a record of 83. We may have hit 84. We'll have to see what the official number comes in as we go through the next hour or two. But that is very atypical for November. Looking outside, look at this. It's 79 in Joplin, 77 in Pittsburgh. Of course, we're dry. We have the clear skies. Everybody fairly warm. 80 in Anderson, 83 at Grand Lakes, 78 in Parsons, 78 in Lamar. And as we continue through the evening hours, it's going to stay mild. It is breezy. We have those southerly winds, which are kicking in 5 to 15 gusts higher than that. In fact, these are going to increase even more as we go through the overnight hours tonight. But clear skies. We do have a cold front that is going to affect us by tomorrow. We're going to have those details and what that means for you here in just a bit.
Catch you in a few. The U.S. Supreme Court today heard arguments in a high-stakes case that pits gun rights against a federal law that seeks to protect victims of domestic violence. This is the first major gun case to come up since the Supreme Court issued a new standard on judging the constitutionality of gun regulations. Natalie Brand has more details from Washington.
What do we want? Justice! When do we want it?
Now! Outside the U.S. Supreme Court, a call to keep guns out of the hands of domestic abusers. What is at stake in this case?
A million gazillion lives of men, women, and children.
Amanda King told us she nearly lost her life to an abusive husband.
I was in shock. I couldn't believe that he just shot me in the back of the head.
She's among the women who shared their stories while arguments unfolded inside the U.S. Supreme Court.
Guns and domestic abuse are a deadly combination. As this court has said, All too often, the only difference between a battered woman and a dead woman is the presence of a gun.
Lawyers for 23-year-old Zaki Rahimi are challenging the constitutionality of the 1994 law that led to his indictment for possessing a firearm while having a restraining order against him. He was arrested after shooting his gun in public 5 different times.
You don't have any doubt that your client's a dangerous person, do you?
Your Honor, I would want to know what dangerous person means.
Well, I mean, someone who's shooting, at people, that's a good start.
The Biden administration argues that last year's Supreme Court decision in the U.S. versus Bruin case has muddied the waters. That ruling said history and tradition should determine whether laws regulating firearms are constitutional.
Once the court corrects the misinterpretation of Bruin, then I think the constitutional principle is clear. You can disarm dangerous persons.
Legal analysts say a majority of justices appears poised to uphold the law to protect victims of domestic violence. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the Supreme Court.
A decision in that case is not expected until June. Today marks 1 month since the deadly October 7th Hamas terror attack in Israel that killed 1,400 people, plunging that region into a bloody conflict. The Hamas-run health ministry in Gaza says the Palestinian death toll has surpassed 10,000, including more than 4,000 children. Meantime, Israelis wait for word regarding the approximately 36 children believed to be among the more than 200 hostages Hamas is holding. Still ahead, traveling for food.
A TV series is bringing foodies to Chicago. I'm Wendy Gillette with how culinary tourism is increasing in popularity.
And next in Health Watch, how a woman is using crocheted blankets to help other women dealing with miscarriage. Topping today's Health Watch, a drug commonly used to treat breast cancer has been licensed in England to prevent it. UK health officials are licensing the repurposing of the hormone-based therapy known as Arimidex in the U.S. The drug has been used as a breast cancer treatment in England for years, but has not previously been used as a preventative drug. A 2019 study found it could reduce the incidence of breast cancer in postmenopausal women with a high risk of development by 49% over 10 years. Maternal mortality is on the rise. That's according to a study by Columbia University looking at challenges mothers face after giving birth. The findings show 2/3 of maternal deaths from 2011 to 2015 could have been preventable with timely and high-quality care. Researchers say improving access to healthcare services, particularly in the first year after birth, is critical. Currently, pregnancy Medicaid typically ends after 60 days. It's estimated that as many as 25% of pregnancies end in miscarriage. That's according to the National Library of Medicine. It can be one of the most heartbreaking and challenging times, often leaving women feeling alone. Reporter Kirsten Mitchell shows us how a Minnesota woman transformed her pain into purpose.
Really soft, very fluffy, machine washable.
Ashley Leeser has crocheted baby blankets for friends before.
It is a labor of love.
But these ones are going to strangers.
Creativity is a really great antidote to grief.
Who left the hospital, like she did, empty-handed.
The same hospital doors that everyone's walking out with their car seats and new babies. So as you're walking out next to that, it's a really painful feeling.
During a 14-week ultrasound, Ashley found out her baby girl passed away.
Your whole world comes crashing down.
A few days later, the blood loss nearly took her life too. She went to Maple Grove Hospital, where she is now giving back to other women experiencing pregnancy loss, one blanket at a time.
When I bring a blanket to a patient, I say, this is from Ashley, and she wants you to know that you're surrounded in light and love, and that she doesn't want you to feel so alone.
The hospital has a bereavement program, but nurse Jenny Berger says it's not always the case.
I think there is a lot of work to do when it comes to how we take care of these families.
I'm not able to fix the healthcare system overnight or by myself, but we can at least provide comfort and warmth for women who experience this today while we figure out ways to make it better for the future.
Ashley has raised enough money to provide a blanket to everyone experiencing pregnancy loss at Maple Grove Hospital for 1 year. Kirsten Mitchell, CBS News, Plymouth, Minnesota.
Ashley now has the money, but is looking for volunteers to help crochet those blankets. And that is a look at today's health news. A little bit later, what a new report from the Federal Reserve shows about Americans' credit card debt.
Plus, our temperatures stay warm into Wednesday, but then some changes. We're going to talk about that coming up. Well, it definitely turned out to be a warm and windy Tuesday for us today. Temperatures all the way into lower 80s. We at least tied a record high. We may have broken the record. We'll have to see what the official number is as it comes in over the next hour. So, nice shot. This is Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. Of course, Indigo is just outside of Seneca, Missouri, and it looks pretty good. Clear skies, but we are going to start to see some changes working in as we go through the next couple days. All right, look at our highs yesterday. We were into the upper 70s, and then as we got into today, we went all the way up into lower 80s for afternoon highs. So pretty good across the region. Outside right now, we're sitting at 78, Lamar 79 in Neosho. We have 82 in Bonita. Chanute is sitting at 77 degrees. Here's 7th. Here's Rangeline. Currently, we're sitting at 79. It feels like 80. Visibility is good. Those southerly winds at about 10 to 15. Of course, gusts have been higher than that across the area. Look at our winds. Southerly winds, 15 upwards to 25, but it's been the gusts that have been higher than that. So it's been kind of a windy day. We've had winds gusting 25 to 30 at times. Now, it's going to stay windy as we go through the next couple days. In fact, let's project this into the future. All right, tomorrow morning, look at this. Winds gusting 30 to 40. So it's going to be super windy as we go into the morning hours. As we go through the day, we get a cold front that rolls in, so the winds will kind of calm down during the afternoon. Then behind the front, notice this. These are northerly winds. So tomorrow night into Thursday morning, we have those winds gusting again, kind of in that 20 to 30 miles per hour range. So it's going to be very windy as we go through the next couple days. All right, evening planner. I know it gets dark here, 45 minutes, actually about 30 minutes. If you are getting outside, temps slowly fall back through the 70s, a very comfortable night. We have a few clouds kind of skirting through, but overall, we look pretty good. We have one wave passing to our north, not going to affect us. It's this wave that's going to kick out, and this is what's going to bring a cold front into the region and cool us down as we head into the rest of the week. Let me walk you through the next 48 hours. We're going to stop this tomorrow morning. Clear skies, mid-60s, so a mild start. Windy morning. Notice the southerly winds. We push 80 by noon. I think most of us 80 or 81, but I want you to notice the cold front slides through into the afternoon. Temperatures will fall behind the front. We'll also get some clouds in here tomorrow evening. Now, as we go into tomorrow night and Thursday morning, we're going to have a lot of clouds, and there's going to be a few showers that kind of skirt our southern counties as we go into Thursday, but I really think most of us stay dry. But look at our temperatures. Highs only into the upper 50s. So this is a pretty good switch as we go through the next 48 hours. 75 at 11, 79 at 3, another mild, or you can call it warm day for us tomorrow, but only 59 on Thursday, 62 on Friday. The weekend looks fantastic. I mean, we're mainly dry for the next 10 days. We don't have a big storm system moving in until the following weekend. We get another great weekend, mid-60s. So yeah, it's going to turn cooler, but it's actually going to turn to where we should be for this time of the year.
Yeah, and actually a little bit above what we should be for the short term.
So not bad.
Thanks, Doug. Coming up, how food is increasing tourism numbers for some cities. Topping today's Consumer Watch, a new report shows U.S. consumers continue to rack up credit card debt. The Federal Reserve Bank of New York says credit card balances hit a new record, surpassing $1 trillion. That's a 40% increase from the beginning of 2021. Prior research showed Americans went on a spending spree this summer, buying everything from trips to concert tickets.
So we're talking about record levels of credit card debt, record high interest rates as well. The average credit card charges 20.72%. So I think it's all related. We're talking about higher balances, higher interest rates. Inflation is really contributing to this as well.
Experts say credit card debt will likely go even higher now that the holiday shopping season's underway. A growing number of Americans are cracking into their retirement fund nest eggs to help pay bills. That's according to a report from the Bank of America. BOA says the number of its 401k plan participants pulling cash out has increased by 27% since the first quarter of the year. It's more than 18,000 people, the highest level in the 5 quarters the bank has been tracking this data. The average withdrawal, just over $5,000. A new survey shows 3 out of 4 Americans would prefer a 4-day work week. The poll, taken by Gallup in collaboration with Bentley University, says the option would still amount to a 40-hour work week. That would be 4 consecutive 10-hour days. In the survey of 3,200 working adults, 77% believe the 4-day work week would be ideal. The second most sought after benefit involved paid mental health days. More Americans are traveling for food experiences. The luxury travel network Virtuoso finds 7 in 10 advisors have seen an increase in foodie travelers. Wendy Gillette reports on the taste-driven uptick from Chicago.
A DJ recently jump-started the party at Nobu Las Vegas, celebrating the 10-year anniversary of the hospitality brand's first hotel at Caesar's Palace, with free-flowing sake, caviar-topped tacos, and decadent desserts.
We have great teams.
Chef Nobu Matsuhisa remains at the helm after launching his empire with actor Robert De Niro and Mayor Tepper.
Robert De Niro was the one that said, why don't we do our own hotel? I think it should work.
It did work, thanks in part to Japanese-inspired rooms, Nobu spa treatments, and room service from Nobu restaurants, which are always a part of the brand's hotels. There are now 37 around the world, either open or in development, mirroring the explosion in culinary travel.
This is a tuna.
Celisa Flores from Huntington Beach, California, has visited several, including the Las Vegas property, where we stayed for a special rate.
It's so fresh and just really amazing, innovative ideas with really simple ingredients.
Chicago is also a mecca for food lovers, and even more so now thanks to a very popular TV series based on this real-life Italian sandwich shop, Mr. Beef.
No, chef, that is not respect.
Fans of The Bear visit Mr. Beef to show respect.
Yes, chef.
To the charismatic owner.
At least in my eyes, I feel like it kind of immortalized us.
Other restaurants making appearances in the show include Publican Quality Meats, Avec, a longtime local favorite, and Ever, with 2 Michelin stars and dishes that look like this and this.
The feedback has been incredible from the guest perspective. The staff were incredibly excited about being in the program as well.
A Chicago food tour inspired by the show launched this month.
It's by popular demand that we're starting the tour, which is really awesome.
Another option for eating your way through the city. Wendy Gillette, CBS News, Chicago.
The food tour based on The Bear is now running every other week on Saturdays. It lasts 3.5 hours, costs $129 per person. Final check of the forecast next. Up next on the CBS Evening News, a look at some of the big elections in other parts of our country. Then on KOAM News at 6, we're going to have more on voter turnout in southeast Kansas today, plus how Spire Energy is looking to help more people with their utility bills this winter. And with Pitt State basketball set to tip off this week, we're going to hear from both the men's and women's programs about the upcoming season. Stay with us for the CBS Evening News and then KOAM News at 6. A new theory has emerged relating to the Earth's creation billions of years ago. Scientists widely agree an ancient planet they've named Theia likely smashed into the Earth as it was forming, spewing debris that formed the moon we see today. Well, a new theory suggests molten slabs of Theia could have embedded themselves within Earth's mantle after impact before solidifying, which means portions of the ancient planet could rest just 1,800 miles below the Earth's surface. There is evidence of some couple of masses beneath Africa and beneath the Pacific that could well be big pieces of Theia under there.
Well, we know the Earth is billions of years old, and we've only been here, very short amount of time, so never know.
That's right.
All right, weather-wise, still mild and, warm and windy for us tomorrow, 81. Quite a bit cooler on Thursday. Could get a sprinkler or two. High temp at 59.
Glad you didn't give the billion-year forecast. We'll see you at 6. Let's make it a great evening.